Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Pretty Pink Posh is having a fun video hop to celebrate their September 2025 release. They are giving away a $20 gift certificate on each stop, so be sure to leave a comment on this video and the rest of the videos in the hop to qualify to win. The next video on the hop is from Laura Basson, and I will have a link for her video along with all the hop information listed in the description box below. Here's a quick look at the main products I'll be using for my card. Pretty Pink Posh's Christmas Cake Pops, the Argyle Pierced Plate, Notched Square Dies, the Christmas Banner Greeting Stamp Set, and also the Coordinating Banner Greeting Dies Set number 1. I will be using some pattern paper for my card. This is from Craft Consortium. It's their Grunge Dark Tones collection. And if you are interested in any of the products I use in this video, I will have links in the description box below. I use the Argyle Pierced Plate on one of the light gray pattern papers. I love how it cuts out the little holes, perfect for adding some holographic paper behind it. I selected a very shiny holographic cardstock. It actually makes me a little dizzy just to look at it, and I don't want to make you dizzy, so I'm setting it off screen for now. I'll be adhering the holographic paper on the back of this Argyle die cut piece. I'm using Barely Art glue. I'll add adhesive along the outside edge and also a tiny dot inside all those diamond areas. Once I have good coverage, I'll add the holographic paper on top. I'll press firmly over the whole background, and I will place a large acrylic block on top for some added weight, and I did let that sit for a few minutes. Now I'll put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. And now you can see that beautiful sparkle peeking through all the pierced holes. Next, I'll add the notched square, and I use one of the green pattern paper colors. I'll put glue on the back, adhere it on the card, and I added the square just a little bit closer to the top edge of the card. I'll place that acrylic block on top again, let that sit, and start assembling one of the cake pops. I'm adding 2 cake pops to the card, a reindeer and a Christmas tree, starting with the reindeer. I use some craft cardstock for the main cake pop, darker brown for the ears, and a light tan for the antlers. I'm adding just a little extra ink along the edge of all the pieces. I use Distress Oxide Vintage Photo ink color. Once I've inked up all those pieces, I'll quickly clean up my silicone mat. And now I'll add just a little bit of ink to the edge of the Christmas tree piece. The ink color I'm using is from Catherine Pooler. It's Deck the Halls. It's a nice dark green, and the cardstock is also dark green, but the ink does add that little bit of detail along the edge. I'll clean up my silicone mat again and start assembling the reindeer cake pop. I love Pretty Pink Posh's cake pop sets. There are several now. They're super cute. Lots of different variety for decorating your cake pops, and they're really easy to assemble. I'll start by adding the ears. Then I'll put the antlers on the top of the head. I'm using glue, so I do have a little bit of time to get everything adjusted before the glue dries completely. For the reindeer's mouth and nose, there's one die piece that has just the nose, and then one die piece that has the nose attached to the mouth. I only want the mouth, so I did cut off that nose portion, but don't worry, this reindeer will still have a nose. For the eyes and the mouth, I use black cardstock, but before adding the eyes, I need to give this reindeer a nose, and I decided this would be a Rudolph reindeer cake pop. For that red nose, I'm using Pretty Pink Posh's Cherry Red Pearl Set. It's the perfect color for a Rudolph nose. I'll use the largest size pearl, add a small drop of Barely Art glue, and I'm picking up the pearl using the wax tip end of Scrapbook.com's Craft Pro Pick tool. Once the nose is attached, I'll add the eyes. I'll do the same thing, add a small drop of glue and pick up those small circles with the Craft Pro Pick tool. Next, I'll attach the cake pop to the stick. Put just a tiny drop of glue at the top of the stick, then place the reindeer cake pop on top. And for the bow, I use some green glitter paper. So there's Rudolph, almost finished. I'll lay it upside down for now, let that glue dry, and start working on the Christmas tree. I started attaching the stick, and then I remembered I wanted to add some gold splatter to look like Christmas lights. The watercolor is from Spellbinders. It's their watercolor mixing set, and I'm using the pearl gold color. After adding water, I'll mix up the paint, then gently tap my paintbrush over the tree. And I'll let that sit. It's a very light splatter, so it won't take very long to dry. I will be popping up both of the cake pops. I'm using some small foam squares from scrapbook.com in the 1mm thickness. So it'll add just a little extra dimension. I will cut some of the squares in half to fit behind the narrow areas of the stick and also the antlers. I'm not adding any foam at the bottom area of this stick. I'll be gluing that portion down. Now I'll check and see if the gold watercolor paint has dried, and I think it mostly has. So now I'll attach the Christmas tree cake pop onto the stick. Since it is a Christmas tree, it needs a beautiful gold star, and I use some gold satin mirror cardstock from my stash. Just put a little bit of glue on the back, adhere it at the top of the tree. I'll also be adding some ornaments. And I use the snowman face small circles, perfect size for ornaments. I cut them out from some white holographic cardstock from Your Paper Insider. It has a beautiful sparkle. I'll first add small drops of Barely Art glue. Then I'll pick up the small ornaments using the Pro Pick tool and press them in place. To finish off the tree cake pop, I'm adding a red bow. I'll also be popping this one up, so I'm grabbing the small foam squares, making sure to get good coverage on the back. And again, I'm not adding any foam at the bottom portion of the sticks. So now I'll grab my card and I can add both cake pops. Flip them over, remove the release paper from the foam. I'm starting with Rudolph. After removing the release paper, I'll put Barely Art glue on the bottom portion of the stick and add him on the left side of the card. And his antlers will go above the notch square and then the stick will go below. I'll remove the release paper on the foam for the tree and add the tree on the right side. Also putting Barely Art glue at the bottom of the stick. And I thought the cake pops would look cute putting them at different angles. For a sentiment, I'm adding Merry Christmas, and I've already heat embossed it. I have black cardstock, and the embossing powder I use is from Brutus Monroe. It's the alabaster color. I did put foam dimension behind the sentiment, and I'll adhere it at the very bottom of the notched square die cut. I love how the sentiment really stands out on the card with that black background. For a final finishing touch, I'll use a white gel pen and add highlights on the Rudolph cake pop. I'll put highlights on the ears, add some little polka dots at the top of the head, putting the small white dot inside the eyes, and also some little cheek accents. So there is my finished card. I love how this turned out. Lots of sparkle, and the cake pop images are so fun. If you are interested in the products I used in this video, I do have links in the description box below if they are still available. Now make sure to head over to Laura Basson's video for the next stop on the hop in Pretty Pink Posh's September 2025 video hop. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.